We're gonna see what this is gonna do. It's not the normal time to go live, but I think for the people on the East Coast, for the people on the West Coast, might be getting home from work, driving home, getting ready for getting ready for a Friday. Cause it's Friday here, so it's still Thursday there. I think that's what it is. We're gonna see if anybody's gonna join in. Nobody's expecting the live right now, so this should be really interesting. Normally, what you're doing right now is like you talk to the camera, you kind of get some stuff off the chest. What we gonna see? I think what I'm gonna do first is just light the cigar. Got one person in the building. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know in the comments, in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. This is a cigar I've been waiting to smoke for a minute, man, and I just haven't lit it up yet. So, do y'all ever have the difficulty of picking out what cigar you want to smoke? Is that ever a thing for y'all? Like you just rummaging? Shouts out for hitting that like button too. Appreciate y'all. Y'all ever like, you got a decent amount of cigars. I ain't gonna act like I got all the cigars in the world, man. I see people videos and they got like 5 or 6 humidors, got tupperdoors stacked up, and they got shells full. I ain't got all that. I ain't got all that. Even with the cigars that were sent out to me, I got one humidor and a couple little tiny tupperdoors, and that's it. If you know, you know. What up, though? All right, I'm glad to know I'm clear. What up, Justin? What up, though? So do y'all get to the point where like you going through the humidor and you like, I always smoke DTT. I don't want to smoke that today. I just had a Sanj Patel. I don't want to smoke that today. Aganorsa. Ain't really in the mood for Aganorsa. I don't know. What I really want right now is I want LFD. Go through the joint. Only thing I got is my bulls, man. I got 2 bulls left, man. I don't want to smoke the rest of my LFD bulls, man. Damn. What am I gonna smoke, yo? Let me see. Fuente. Nah, I do Fuente all the time. I don't want to do Fuente right now. And it's just like, I don't know. It's a first world problem. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things. Like it's a first world issue where you got to decide like what you're gonna do, so decide what you're gonna smoke. But the way I made my decision today, man, it's like I've really been rocking with JC Newman really heavy lately. If you guys have seen some of the recent reviews, the Cuesta Ray, the Angel Cuesta, and Julius Caesar. And there's another one that I had recently, and I've really been digging just JC Newman as a whole. Like they've been really giving me something. So I cut this one up for a live to do with the new wave, probably a month or 2 ago. And I never smoked a cigar. You can see it's already cut. I'm not cutting it. Said it happens to me all the time. It's a good problem to have. Yeah, at least you got choices, right? You got options. So that kind of, I mean, it's a good thing. So I cut this one, and when I was smoking some of the other cigars, especially the JC Newman, it got me to start working on a new the top 10. So one of the next new top 10s is coming out is going to be the top 10 creamy cigars. And I really was digging that creamy profile, right? So that was kind of a good thing. So then I took this one and just to test it out, just to see like if it had dry boxed properly, if it's at the right, RH. Did a cold draw, and this motherfucker tastes like Frosted Flakes. Like genuinely tastes like that cold draw tastes like Frosted Flakes. Got wheat, got cream, got sugar. You got that kind of like cereal bready flavor to it, a little bit of honey. And that's just on the cold draw. So I was like, man, let me light this cigar up and see if I know it's not gonna taste like that when I light it up. But that's the direction I kind of wanted to go in, being that it's super early in the morning here in Japan. Like it's early as fuck. It might be like 9 o'clock. I got up, got the kids off to school, did my leg day workout, came back, and I'm like, yo, I got time to sit, smoke a good cigar. People on the East Coast should have some time to hop on the live. People on the West Coast should be getting home from work. They probably like stuck in traffic, especially if they're in the LA area. They could just put on the live and just kick it with the kid. So let me smoke a good cigar. And I wanted something that has some good flavor. So JC Newman seems to be what's treating me right now. JC Newman, I'm really kind of surprised. I think I need to do a bias guide for JC Newman too. What y'all think about that? Do you think that would be a good idea? Shouts out to hitting that like button, man. Appreciate y'all. It's almost Friday for y'all, man. The sun going down for y'all on the East Coast. Starting to go down for y'all on the West Coast. What you smoking? What you lighting up? I might not be smoking shit because it look like this might be out of flames. All right, we good for a second. Mm-mm. Don't look good. Y'all gotta wish me up luck right here. This shit might not light anymore. I don't feel like going down there stairs to refill it either. It's pretty nice though. JC Newman, Diamond Crown. I've really come to the realization that, let me see what we got. You talking about Wembenyama right now, man? I don't even think that man on the court right now, dude. Wembenyama just getting his bags packed, man. Just getting situated in San Antonio. He ain't ready to hoop right now. Justin said, "What up, Sam? Way to come through, homie." G, what up, though? I'm chilling, man. It's you Midwest, so it should be a good time to kick it right now. Let me see what Justin was saying. That's one of the best Connecticut's ever made. Great flavor, perfect construction, and burn. I'm smoking the Stillwell Star Special Edition 2022. That Stillwell Star is fire too, man. I just had that the other week. Let's talk some NBA to go along with the cigars, man. Y'all can throw up some NBA stuff. I've been kind of no umbrella today. I need that umbrella today, but nah, man. It's actually really nice. The weather is beautiful right now. It's hot. You can see like I'm starting to get all crystally, but it's a little breeze going. I wish y'all could see Fuji right now. I wish I could show y'all that. In the next week or so, I'm gonna be climbing that mountain, man. I'm going on Monday to rent the gear. Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm gonna make my trek up that mountain. So, because it's gonna be the last time I get to do it. You know, in a month, the season is gonna end, and in a month, I'm gonna be in a whole nother prefecture and on the other side of Japan. So I might as well get it in right now. So. Dame ain't moving till the season, homeboy. Um, it's gonna be a minute before they move there. I still think that whole situation is done, but it's a lot of politics going on right now. I think it's just politics happening with Portland and Miami. But Miami didn't clear all that cap space for no reason. They were trying to make that happen. And this Connecticut is spicier than I thought it was gonna be. I didn't expect it to be spicy like this. How can you say nobody wants Dame? Who does not want a point guard that can shoot from anywhere on the court, that can slash and get to the basket, and that can put up 40 points, 50 points, 60 points a night? Dame ain't always out though. Dame had an abdominal issue, so Dame is not usually out. Dame is usually gonna play. Dame has actually been a very consistent player. He hasn't. It's not like he's been out all the time. And after that injury, when he came back, Dame was hooping. Dame was hooping. Once he had his body right, Dame was back. So nah, I can't see people looking at it like that. And who doesn't want a floor general? Who doesn't want a leader on the court? Who doesn't want somebody that's like super confident like that? I can't really see that being the case. Were you talking about Wimbenyama when he said he dyed his hair? I ain't see that. That ain't a good sign, man. That's a scary sign. Miami definitely wants him, and Miami should get him. So, and if he needs to go anywhere, that's gonna be the place to be. He need to be in Miami. Plus, we need more teams on the East Coast anyway. So I'm hoping he goes that route. Nobody give a damn about Portland. Fuck is it? Look, Clyde Drexler ain't walking through that door right now. Said I retract my statement. Maybe I should say, who wants to trade half their team and assets for him? Miami already did it, man. So they already kind of moved the necessary pieces. My man Taylor, what up, homeboy? Dude, I just thought about you the other day, man. What's good, man? I hope you enjoying teaching, man. I hope you relaxing. Got some time to chill. I literally just thought about you the other day, man. It's good to see your face, baby. Clyde Drexler was awesome. He was, Jordan light. So who didn't love Clyde Drexler? That was the heyday, and that and the Jailblazers. That was a beautiful time. And Dame and CJ McCollum had their time too with Portland, but it's time to move on, man. Dame has showed every little bit of loyalty that you could think of from a player. He's done everything he could do for that establishment. They just need to say it's time for us to rebuild. We got rid of McCollum. We just need to get rid of Dame, let him do his thing now, and let's start a whole new thing. Get some young players in, and just they got Anthony Simons, who's a beast. Let that man be the nucleus right now, and then get some more young pieces to put around him. Let him become the vet, and then they can have a whole new team and go on and do their thing. He said he messing with G. Yeah, man, it's I'm trying to stay smiling right now, man, and that's what these lives are for, Taylor. It's a way that I can just kind of kick back, enjoy the day, and I got a whole lot of stuff on my mind. That's kind of the funny thing. It's a whole lot of stuff going on between the move. I don't even know if I mentioned to you, Taylor, that we leave in this area, and in October we're gonna be in Sasebo. We're gonna be in the bottom part of not Tokyo, in the bottom part of Kanto. No, I think we leave the Kanto Island. We're gonna be at the bottom part of Japan, like an hour and a half away from Okinawa. That's how far down we're gonna be. So the question is, what is Luka and what is Kyrie gonna do? I want to hear what Texas got to say about that too. Said Dallas ain't going nowhere. Might be some facts to that. This is what Luka and Kyrie are gonna do. They're gonna have some games. Once they went through training camp, they had some time in the off season to kind of communicate with each other, get in a different kind of shape, get warmed up. They're gonna start connecting, and they're gonna have some games where they're gonna do what he and LeBron did when they both dropped 40 points for no particular reason. But both of them are gonna have a meltdown somewhere in the middle or towards the end of the season, and it's gonna cause dysfunction, and the team is just gonna sink into oblivion. They might even get into the playoffs, but they're gonna fall apart. Y'all can take notes on this. Y'all can write that down. I bet that's what happens. Sam, what we got right now is the Diamond Crown by J.C. Newman. So what I was saying in the beginning before everybody came in is like I was having a hard time trying to figure out what kind of cigar I wanted to go with. I didn't know what I wanted to smoke, man. So I'm going through them like, nah, DTT, I do that all the time. Man, Fuente, I do that all the time. I want to do that. I ain't in the mood for Crown Heads right now. So like I'm going through it. I'm gonna enjoy it, brother. I'm gonna do my best, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit you up a little bit later, Taylor. Cause I got something I want to chop it up with you about. So I'm gonna hit you up a little bit later. So I did a cold draw on this Diamond Crown, man, and it tastes like cornflakes. So I was like, that should give me a nice profile to sit up here on this rooftop, kick back in the early morning, smoke something really good. I left my drink downstairs. I'm kind of pissed at that. So that's how we got Diamond Crown. I've been really feeling J.C. Newman lately, so I just kind of kept that rolling. He said Kyrie gonna flip. Kyrie always gonna flip, man. Look, I called James Harden. I told everybody, if you don't believe me, ask G. I told everybody what James Harden was gonna do. I knew he was gonna just start to nut up and start to, to cause trouble on his squad. I knew it was gonna happen. Like it's no way you can make that dude happy. And the other player that's like that is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie is a better player to me. Kyrie is a better all-around player than James Harden. And he's going to have some highlight reel moments. And he's going to have some beautiful team moments. But at some point in time, that bipolar personality is going to come out and he's going to fuck up the team. It is what it is. He's either going to miss 40 games or he's going to do something stupid and say something stupid. Not in the sense that what he said is not always that it's not intelligent. It's just the wrong time. And it's the wrong time to bring up the stuff that what he's doing. And then he's going to have to stand on his opinion. He's going to have to be like, oh, like, dude, you are not Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Like, you are not that dude. You are not Chris Jackson, man. So that's what's going to happen with that. He said, at least Kyrie in Texas, so when Rona spreads more, he doesn't have to worry about the vax mandates. He still can find a way to fuck up. It don't matter. Said I tried a couple JC Newmans and enjoyed them. Had the Brick House and one other one. What was the other one that you had, if you can remember? I like Brick House. I'll smoke a Brick House every now and then. It's not my favorite, but I like Brick House. Brick House is kind of like, that was a startup cigar for me. So me and my homeboy used to sit on the porch in Norfolk, Virginia, and we used to just smoke Brick House, just talk shit for hours. So that got a special place for me. But I'd rather pick up a JC Newman. I'd rather go with a Diamond Crown. I'd rather go with a Julius Caesar for sure. That Julius Caesar is money. And I probably wouldn't spend a lot of money on the Angel Cuesta on a regular basis, but I would smoke that anytime. That cigar was actually fantastic. Ty said Harden is not a winner. Folded like a lawn chair last season. He folded like a lawn chair every season. But it's just his style of basketball. You can't win like that. Even Kobe said that. Kobe called that out. Didn't Kobe say that? It's like, you can't win a championship like that. And he was right. But the other part is like, everything about his game is the expectation is for somebody to bail him out. If it's not the referee bailing him out, it's the person reaching in to foul to bail him out. It's the free throw line. It's the coach to bail him out. It's the best player on the team. So when he get into the playoffs and he bing, 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 and he dribble himself till he tired, and then his shot is off, then he melts down. Then he start pouting. Then he want to get mad at Chris Paul. Then he want to get mad at Dwight Howard. Then he want to get mad at Russell Westbrook. He get mad at everybody but himself. He want to get mad at KD. He want to, and it's a pattern. And every single team that he's gone through, he's done the same thing every time. So it's like, at this point, who would want to pick that man up? I've been calling ever since Houston, like, yo, I don't want that man on my team. Especially after he did the whole, gaining weight and all, like, that was super corny, man. I would never want that dude on my team. My man said he keep a log, let him check to see what that JC Newman was. I love that. I wish I was that organized. Said Brick House is a good wedding cigar. I don't know if I ever thought about it like that, but okay. That's one you can pass around. Just about anybody can smoke that cigar. So I see how that works. All right, so I'm still getting, this is like spicy frosted flakes. It's a little bit of spice in there, but that honey is really prevalent. Cereal and hay. And you get a little bit of granulated sugar. Nice amount of pepper on the retro hell. Pretty nice. Justin said Kyrie is great, but he could destroy Luka. They both need the ball in their hands. And this is what I want to see. Justin, you got a great point there. This is what I want to see. I didn't know this was going to be about sports today, but I'm loving it. I'm loving this. But like, I didn't think or expect them to be able to gel and click last season. I didn't expect that to happen. And I thought everybody was too hard on them as a tandem, like expecting them to be like overnight. Even that Miami team with Wade, Bosh, and LeBron took some time to gel. Like, not everybody gonna be the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? You're not just gonna be able to put KD in there, plug and play, and they're gonna start clicking and roll. That's a different organization. That's a different team, and they're different players. The level of sacrifice that it takes for somebody like Luka and somebody like Kyrie Irving to be able to sacrifice right away and say, okay, we're gonna make this work. It ain't gonna happen like that. They're gonna need time to gel. But when they do start clicking, they're gonna be a problem until they melt down. They're gonna be the downfall of themselves. Justice said Harden is too selfish. He's the most selfish player in basketball, him and Julius Randle. I don't want either one of them cornballs on my team. That's a good question, G. What cigars would you pair with different life events? That's a damn good question. I'm gonna sit on that because I think that's brilliant. Because I like the idea of putting that brick house at a wedding event. Just because it's a good construction cigar, pretty even kill with the flavors, not gonna kill anybody. It's not gonna throw them, not gonna throw them off, anything like that. And I want y'all to throw some suggestions too, because I think that's a fantastic question. So let's think about a life event. So we got the wedding. So retirement. If it's retirement, I'm probably gonna go with something a little bit more classic. I would do something probably from a My Father blend. Do something like a La Bijou, something like that. This shit burning weird as fuck, man. Look at this shit. But I think it's partially because the fire was going out. I'm talking to y'all, and I had to relight this bitch. So it ain't too bad. Let's see. Yeah, Diamond Crown, they really do have great construction. So don't get me wrong. But I was sitting here talking basketball and waving shit around. Y'all know I talk with my hands. I've never smoked that JC Newman Baton, man. I've never had that. Or Baton. I've never had it. I want to try that one though, but I fuck with JC Newman heavy. Heavy. Let's see. I kind of want to stick with G question a little bit too. Damn. You gotta think about, like, y'all might have to throw out some special events, man, just so I can kind of think, because I can't really think of anything off the top of the head. Like my daughter's graduation, I had to pull out the shark. I had to pull out the JC Newman shark, ironically, on that one. And I wanted something I was really gonna enjoy. Like, life is sweet. My daughter graduating from college, so I wanted to get something that was sweet, but also really elegant as well too. And I felt that JC Newman was that for an anniversary. For an anniversary, you could do something like that. That's what is it? The pink, rare pink. Get something that's nice and floral. Got an elegant look to it. Burns well. Something that the lady could smoke at the same time. I think that would be a good idea. Said the Baton wasn't that bad. Give it a shot. Yeah, I'll look into that. Texas said he tried the upset of small axe and the Django. And then see, you do a lot more flavored cigars than I would do. Like I absolutely love. Shouts out to everybody that hit that like button too. It's 9 people in here, 8 likes. That's dope. But I love Foundation. Foundation is absolutely one of my favorite. I almost grabbed the Foundation. I almost grabbed the High Clear to light up. But the only one that I really don't mess with out of that whole portfolio, the entire portfolio, is the Upsetter. And it's just because I just don't really do the flavored cigars. If I'm gonna do anything that's flavored, the closest that I'm probably gonna get to it right now is either the Sober Mesa or the Stillwell Star, and that's just the pipe tobacco. That's really the most that I can do on that. Closing a big business deal. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, that's a good one. Honestly, what I would do for that is the Andalusian Bull, because you got 2 hours of some of the most pristine. I would either do that or an Atabay. If I'm closing a big business deal, I'm either doing that or an Atabay. That would be my move for that. Because when you think about it, those cigars look regal, right? They smoke like Cubans, but they got more flavor, better construction, and they go on and on for a while. If I got a promotion, if I got a promotion, I would probably do a Patoro, something that I appreciate for myself. I would either do that or something from Principle. This is something I want for myself. I just got a promotion. This is something I want to sit back for myself. I want to smoke something that's rare and exceeds expectation. So it's gonna be either Principle or it's gonna be Patoro. I like these, man. I like what we're doing here. That's fun. He said I'll snag an acid here and there, but you was doing them fat bottom Bettys or baby bottom Bellas or whatever them shits called. You was smoking them a lot heavy too, Texas. And you see, I really like Dunbarton though. I fuck with Dunbarton heavy. I feel you on that. Anthony said Henry Clay Warhawk is a good cigar as well. Yo, I talk heavy about that. If you watch the top 10 Connecticut's, that Warhawk is up there in the top of the list. That Warhawk is phenomenal. That is that in the JD Newman, Connecticut, fire. Absolute fire. I got nothing but love for those. And they're well-priced cigars, too, which make it even better. And they smoke like a dream. Let's see. Mark J said, the first live I'm catching from you. Still trying to get through your videos. Love your style. Appreciate you, homie. That's a great compliment, man. Thank you for joining the live, man. We trying to keep it, we just chopping it up here. We throw shit off the dome. We just talk, smoke good cigars. So thank you for coming through and hanging out with us, man. What was the last video you watched, man? It's been pretty cool seeing people kind of going back through the channel and watching some of the videos, man. A lot of the top 10s are being watched right now. That's what it seems like people are on for the most part. Let's see, he said, I got a box of Monte Cristo Epic, number 2, premium selection, 2007. They got some nice age to it. That's what's up. Yeah, New World Monte Cristos. I don't smoke those very often, but I absolutely love them. I have a box that has been aging for years. And look, if you find a cigar like that you love, man, roll with it. Roll with it. I don't knock people. It's rare that I ever go to the New World Monte Cristos, but the Monte Cristo that they did with Crown Heads, what was it? Ciudad or something like that, La Ciudad. It was it had a musical theme to it. That thing was banging. I would smoke that any day. So I'm not mad at you all for that at all for that Epic. Let's see. Guillermo said, I bought the Nub Series V Melanio. That Melanio, you can't go wrong with that, man. The Melanio is an all-time cigar. And it's one of those things that it almost gets talked about too much, but I don't give a damn about the hype. That's a damn good cigar. I don't care which Vitola. I don't care if it's Maduro or the Natural. I love that cigar. I got nothing but love for it. He said, yeah, you do rock with the boutiques heavy, Justin, but look, I'm not mad at you. If the cigar is good, it's good, man. That's what really matters. I'll keep an eye out for it. I've seen the Epic, but I was just like, it's Monte Cristo. I ain't messing with it. A Cowboy Super Bowl cigar. What would I smoke for a Cowboy Super Bowl cigar? I'll smoke a Cardwell so I can put that mug out immediately. Fuck the Cowboys, man. They ain't never winning the Super Bowl and they ain't never smoking another Caldwell, so like that works. You say you finally burned out on those dead woods. I ain't mad at you though. You smoking those heavy. Hey man, I love the fact that y'all actually like having conversations in the chat too, man. Y'all don't know how much that mean to me, man. That's really why I do these lives. So it ain't just me talking. Y'all chopping it up. I love this shit, man. This is why I do these. So AW, we smoking the Diamond Crown by JC Newman, man. I'm on the JC Newman kick right now. Ty said he got that Privada Feral Pig. Dude, that cigar started out, I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know about this cigar, man. By the time I got to the heart of that cigar, that thing is phenomenal. It is that is a great cigar, man. I don't know if you saw the review that I just did. That cigar was outstanding. I got another review that's coming out. I did. I'm kind of giving away the review, but whatever. Y'all show love. Y'all will watch it. Just let it play. But I got through the Madonna Negra by. I always mix up Black Works and Black Trading Company, Black Cigar Trading Company. It was a Black Cigar Trading Company, and that thing started out. I couldn't figure out what to do with that cigar. I didn't know what was happening. By the time I got to the heart, that thing is amazing. The smoke profile on it was satiny. The flavors just kind of started to balance out. It's ultra smooth. This is a Connecticut, and it's far more smooth than this cigar by a long shot. By a long shot. Y'all are really chopping it up, man. I'm struggling to keep up with y'all today. Damn. Let's see what we got. Just finally dropped the ash on that. So Mark said he watched the top 10 red cigar list, kind of skipped around with the videos. I don't do them in order. You ain't got to do them in order, man. They ain't even meant for that. They just meant for you to go through and watch, watch whatever connects with you. So that's what's up. Eli said, I smoked the Davidoff Colorado Claro Special R, and after Thanksgiving dinner with my brother. That's dope, man. See, this is what cigars is all about, man. Like when you got those special moments and you kick back with family. Also smoked a Diplomatico. That's the Cuban joint, right? Was it the Cuban? In honor of my grandpa. Shouts out to your grandpa, man. Salute. He said he just picked up 4 Opus X Sharks and 4 Otter Sharks. Cali, man, you can be smoking good for a good minute. I got a story to tell y'all too, man. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story about that in just a moment. It ain't about the Sharks, but it just reminded me of something. But I got the Opus Shark. Shouts out to my man Peter who sent me that Opus Shark. I'm gonna smoke that soon. Like, y'all know how I love Sharks, and that's the only one that I've never had. And so I can't wait to try that out. So Alejandro said, I forgot what short it was you did, but I caught the Barrington Levy sample. And I was like, yeah. I don't even remember which one I did with that joint, but I remember that was fun, man. Y'all don't know, like, I don't do enough of it, and I haven't been on it in a while, but I was a diehard reggae, dance hall, sound clash, roots, lovers rock, real reggae fan. Like U-Roy, Barrington Levy, Bob Marley, Gregory Isaacs, Dennis Brown. Like, I rock with like real reggae music, you know what I mean? Ninja Man, Beanie Man, like that. Like I'm classic, real roots reggae, man. So I wanted to kind of put that on the channel. I ain't done enough reggae. I might have to bring some more reggae back. What I'm probably gonna do is do like Foundation. I'm probably do like another Foundation bias guide or something like that. Or do something with Nick Melillo, because he always showing love to Haile Selassie. He always showing mad love to reggae. So I'll probably do that somewhere down the line. It's doing well. Don't like this. He's talking about Anthony's talking about the Diamond Crown. It's burning well. It's not perfect, but the problem is with me right now. It's like I'm chopping it up with y'all. I'm waving my hands around. Ain't no trouble with this. This is actually a fantastic cigar. It's doing really well. It's just me right now being super animated, man. I'm just hyped. Like, got 19 people in here. Was not expecting that. Got 18 likes. Appreciate y'all. Everybody having conversations in here, chopping it up. This is what I like, man. Let's see. It has to be the epic number 2. The rest are trash. No, look. When you get a chance, man, go find that that La Ciudad or whatever it's called. It's Monte Cristo and Crown Heads. I promise you will like that cigar. I promise you will like that joint. That joint is absolute fire. Texas said he grew up an Oilers fan. Warren Moon. I ain't mad at that. I've tried some of the Thai. I've tried some of those Jamaican cigars, man. Like, who was it that was doing the Jamaican cigars? Was it Eric Espinoza? Is it Espinosa? I think he got one called the Reggae, and he got one called the Dread. I think it's Espinosa. And I smoked the Reggae, and I thought that shit was one of the worst cigars that I've ever had. And I ain't smoked it since. That was absolutely one of the worst cigars that I've ever had, man. It didn't have any burn issues. It didn't have any problems. That shit just tasted like straight garbage. Uh, Bruh, that Blackwork cigar, I was getting a lot of dark fruits in that. Was it the Blackworks or the Black Label Trading? Which Blackwork cigar was that? You talking because I think it's Black Label Trading Code that was doing that Black Madonna. I don't know if I got fruit on that, but it was some really good sweet notes in there. Like when that thing came around, it was like it was fantastic, man. Y'all see the review. Let's see. Texas said I had some of the Casa 1910s the other day. Cuchillo Parado, that's my joint right there, and the Lucero, very good, and not dead wood. Matt, what up, homie? So it's the thing about the 1910s, like they're all Mexican tobacco, Mexican puro, and they don't taste like anything that's out there. And it's funny, like with me and all the new wave cats, every single one of us got a different one of the 1910s that we like. And for me, like I like T notes. Like one of my all-time favorite cigars is the Monte Cristo OG, the number 2, and that thing, like when you get the T notes and you get those grassy notes in there, it's phenomenal. And probably the closest thing that I got to that was the Casa 1910. They don't really taste alike, but just the reminiscent of getting those really fresh tobacco notes, those really fresh T notes, that draws me in every time. Okay, he said Neptune has them for the low. I ain't even checked on that, man. I need to go back and check on that. I got a few right now, man. I'll get in there and check that out. Texas Cigar Hound Dog smoking Alec Bradley tonight. I would pay money to see Matt smoking either Alec Bradley or AJ Fernandez. That's like pure comedy every time. You know it's gonna be a dog rocket or a pepper bomb. It's funny as shit. Uh, I've really been enjoying Afro beats for the past year or two. Created a great playlist. Right now, Tim's is my absolute favorite artist going right now. Chick sing all day. I can watch her all day. I can watch her dance, watch her move. I can like when she sing, like I get hit with that chick, man. I love Tim so much right now. And Afrobeat shows how much like African rhythms have traveled all over the world because you can get Caribbean music, you can get West Indians, you can get South Africans, but that's not what I was talking about. But you can get South Americans, you can get the Brazilian diaspora over there. Like you can hear all the different Latino diaspora. They all show these African rhythms, and all of that plays in the Afrobeat. You can hear how everything was influenced by Femi Kuti and Fela Kuti and what they were doing back in the day, and just how they put all those African rhythms in, and then like they took what was enhanced by the Latin rhythms, and they took what was enhanced by the reggae rhythms, and they put that all into Afrobeat, man. It's such a beautiful thing, man. I love that shit. Yeah, Todd, the Dread was the one that had like the little stems on them and all that kind of stuff like that. But that wasn't the one I had. The one I had was just the reggae, and that shit was absolute garbage, bro. And the Magic Turd. You don't like the Magic? Yo, I don't know why y'all hate on that Magic Toast, man. That Magic Toast is a damn good cigar, man. I love that fucking cigar, bro. He said, I need to look at videos and find some cigars to try. It's been a minute. Look, yo, Rob, telling you, the reason why I make buy guides and I make the top 10 is so that you always know what is out there as far as cigars. They're always in a classification. They always have some kind of organization to them. And I really try to be as diverse as possible with all of my choices in there. You know what I mean? Like when you reviewing, like you're trying to smoke as many different brands and as many different cigar types as possible. You're going to Maduros, you're going to Connecticut, you're going salt cut, you're going everywhere in between. you know, and you're doing Bob Wayne, you're doing Principal, you're doing Aventura. I almost picked up an Aventura to smoke today. And I try to give everybody different options of stuff that they never even seen. I try to go to the boutiques. I try to get like Blackworks in there. I try to get, you know, Black Label Trading Company in there. I try to put Casa 1910. So at least that way, like you are seeing a little bit of everything just through my palette, like what you should go out there and try. So just go through my top tens, go through my bias guides. I give the brand, you know, recommendations in there. It'll help you find some kind of cigar that you haven't had before. And I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back, but that's really like the work that I put in so that like you can figure out which cigars that you want to try and which cigars you want to see, and then you can go based on my palette and then see what your palette picks up, man. I hope that works out. Say, let's see. So Anthony said he just finished smoking the Alec Bradley Nicaragua, aged in my humidor for 5 years. Great cigar now. That's a damn shame that you got to put 5 years on that cigar to make it worthwhile. I want my cigars to smoke good as soon as I take them out the pack. The last gatekeeper I had did not go well at all. But I try not to dunk on them too hard. So Matt said he got to go take his stupid dog out for a walk. I'll try to check in later. Shouts out, bro. You know I'm going to be here for a minute anyway. I ain't going to be here too long. We already got 40 minutes in. I can't believe that shit. Yo, I can't believe this chat rolling like this, man. I appreciate y'all. Shouts out to the homie, the Cigar Hound Dog. He said, take a poop baggie. Texas, you funny as hell, bro. Hey, it's hard not to be a big fan of Cigar Hound Dog, man. That's a good dude, man. And it's really an informative channel. Like, I love the fact, like, everybody, like, with these new wave cats, man, everybody got something different that they bring to the table. And I think it's really cool. But I don't think you're going to get anybody more consistent and smoking more of what's new with cigars than Matt. Like, dude, like, his connect is dope. And his drive to get new cigars is unmatched right now. Like, it's really nobody in these cigar reviews that's touching them. Even all these people that got their own stores. You got Zill Cigars, you got Cigars Daily, you got what's that, Insomniac Cat. You got these cats that got their own shops and selling cigars and all that, and they still can't keep up with Matt, yo. You know what I mean? So when you go to Cigar Hound Dog, like, you really gonna see what's new and what's hot. And like I got to take my cap off of him. That's why his channel has blown up the way that it has, because of his consistency. And that's hard to do, man. Matt said he barehanded poop like a third baseman. Not gonna be able to do it. I know he's joking, but that shit is hilarious. And see, you know, so Texas came through Pick Jimmy, and that's what's up. And honestly, Pick Jimmy, that's one of the best things he does. Is like, some of the recent shows that he did was like cigar channels that he wished would come back. Shouts out to Cigar Head Fred. Shouts out to Mr. Lancero. And I learned about Pick Jimmy because he found my channel and was like, hey, this is a channel that you need to watch. How dope is that? You know, and he did that whole show like, hey, these are the reviewers that you need to look out for right now. And honestly, it gave a boost to my channel. Like, it jumped up because of that. So I got nothing but love for that brother for doing that, man. And it's a great channel. Like, you need to be able to have different perspectives on how you do reviews, man. Because everybody for so long was trying to be Cigar Obsession. And everybody was just like, and we're smoking the Diamond Crown by J.C. Newman. It has invisible seams, and everybody was doing that shit for the longest time. And you needed somebody like Jimmy. DJ got like he's one of those people that thinks outside the box, and I appreciate somebody that completely thinks another way. So the way he gives an editorial and he gives commentary on the cigar industry and smoking types and all this stuff, like he thinks in a way that most people don't think, man. And I got nothing but love for that. Peter, what up, homie? So Justin said it's the best live in the game, man. I appreciate it, man. That's just because I love shooting the shit with y'all, man. I love doing it. That's the whole concept, was like making this a lounge so all my homies can come in and we can just talk shit, talk sports, talk music, talk cigars. This makes me happy, man. Y'all can see, like, this is the best mood I've been in all day. So what's a good birthday stick? Ooh, that's a good one. Mm. I know Viaje has a birthday cigar like that, and that was smart branding by them. I don't like Viaje cigars, but Cigar Hound Dog put me on to the Viaje birthday cigar. That's a good option, but I wouldn't go with that. That's too on the nose. What I would probably do would probably be Crown Heads La Carême, because that thing tastes like a cake, man. That thing is it's so sweet and delicious, and it's just a really good cigar, man. And it's every Vitola is really good, so that's probably what I would go with for a birthday cigar, man. That's probably what I would do. Texas says cigar obsession. I would be trying to figure out if that dude had teeth most of the video. Yo, it's funny that you say that, because I was trying to figure out if he had teeth or not too. Oh, that's funny as hell. And G said I only watch every third video Lee Mack posts. EKB knows why, for sure. And I know what's up too. And you watching more than I watch, man. I got nothing but love for that cat, man. I ain't got no beef with him. But I really can't, I really don't sit through his show very often. What are you smoking? It's the Diamond Crown. And I got an Illusione one off plus 53 going right now. Dude, I want to see if you got that citrus note that I got from that one off. It get like, so the one that I had was super duper aged though. I think I got it from uh, BLL when they were still Black Lion Luxuries and they were still like putting out some good stuff. And I think that cigar had like, I know for sure it had over 5 years age on it. I ain't got no more fire, yo. There we go. And that thing, it had that musky old cellar, you know, kind of bookish, you know, really aged tobacco to it. But when I got to the heart of that cigar, it gave me this citrusy note that popped, man. It was like a lemon drop, and that thing was so good. I haven't had that cigar since, but I absolutely love that cigar, man. That's a damn good cigar. Enjoy that one, bro. Lee Mack goes live Sunday evenings with a couple other channels. So that, you know, that's what's up, man. And I like the whole thing about the cigar community being together like that, and people, you know, just kind of getting together and talking cigars. I watched a few of those lives. You know, it's been a minute since I watched any of them, but you know, they hang out and they chill. It's kind of laid back. I ain't mad at their vibe at all. I can see that Julius Caesar for the birthday, man, but that's such a good cigar, man. Like, that's when, like, it's worth celebrating any time. I'm never gonna say, you know, never to smoke that Julius Caesar, man. That is really one of my all-time favorites, man. It's a chocolatey cigar. It's so good. Let's see. Rob said, "Love the lives, even extra special when two creators get together." Yeah, man, and I do that for the most part on Instagram Live. Somebody usually join in. The last time I had my man Kendall on, we was sipping some tea together. He sent me some tea that was outstanding. I can't remember the brand of the tea, but that's some of the best tea that I ever had. And Sanj Patel came on for a minute. And Sanj was going off, man. Sanj was just cutting up. He was in his lounge. He was cutting up cigars and opening them up. He cut at least 2 or 3 cigars wide open. Shouts out to everybody to hit that like button, man. We got 14 people in here and 22 likes, man. Y'all the best, man. I really appreciate y'all. Let me see. I had another thought and I forgot what I was gonna say with that. So he said, Lee Mack, on the foot of the cigar, I smell electrical tape, hot candle wax, bird food, wet paper, wet paper bag. I'm just gonna let that marinate. said don't get them started on that. You got okay. You got three cats that are notorious for that. You got Lee Mack, Insomniac, and Joe Knows. Those three cats, man, when they throw out some flavors for a cigar, you never know what you might get. They find flavors in cigars that are just like fascinating to me. I'm like, yo. And I'm not saying it's not there. So I don't like to crack on people with that because I really try to be as descriptive as I possibly can when it comes to cigars. I also try to keep it grounded at the same time too. But at the same time, like every now and then with certain cigars, you're gonna get a flavor profile that's not you're not gonna find anywhere else. You know, if you get a Sin Compromiso, that don't taste like anything that's out there. You're gonna get something that's different. You might get cocoa nibs. You might get Fruit Loops. You might get cornflakes. Privada does that bullshit too. And then maybe that's the thing, like if you were part of Privada, maybe that's what you're supposed to do, is that you're supposed to give these wild flavor notes. DJ from Pick Jimmy just recently had the Not Tony. This cigar here, when you draw it on the cold draw, literally tastes like Frosted Flakes, right? But if you get the Not Tony, it don't taste like that. You're not getting that flavor profile for that cigar. So why would they put that label up there, you know, to make somebody think that this is gonna taste like some cornflakes or some Frosted Flakes? And then when you read the, you know, if you go to his short when he's smoking that cigar, none of the flavor profiles are in there that they put on this list, and they like, yo, you can taste plum and wine and all this other kind of. It's like, what the fuck are y'all talking about, man? What are y'all talking about? What are we doing? Peter Wild on that on the wet socks. That shit's fucking funny. But them motherfuckers might say some shit like that, yo. Okay, that's a good question, Rob. Rob asked, so why some creators get away on YouTube and some get reviews and videos shut down? We've been talking about this a lot with the new wave cats, and DJ has been like cooking these dudes on this because here's why they're doing that. With the rules on YouTube, you cannot sell cigars and you cannot promote where to buy cigars. You cannot put any links up to say, go to this website and buy the cigar as an affiliate, as just a friendly link, as your company, as your business. You cannot link to the sale of cigars. It's contraband to them. You cannot do that. So what's happening that these guys are getting canceled and they're getting in their channel shut down is because they insist on trying to sell their cigars or trying to promote these cigars, and you can't do that. We can review all day long. We can say this tastes like whatever. We like this cigar. I rank this cigar this, and I can rank this cigar that. I dislike this cigar. You can do that all day long. They won't bother you. But the moment you link to go here to this channel, to go to this website, to go to this page or whatever, they're going to shut you down. That's part of the rules. When you go to somebody's house, you got to play by house rules. And these cats are on YouTube and they ain't playing by house rules. So, and look, I don't knock anybody trying to get money. Get money, what you say. Get money. You go out and get your money. You go out and do what you got to do. But just like the last short that I put out, this is a grind, yo. My channel is technically monetized, but we can't get, you know, in order for us to get sponsorships for these shows, if I'm just doing a movie channel, anybody can sponsor this and people will come up and sponsor. But because it's tobacco, you can only get limited amount of sponsors on the channel. So ever since my page has been monetized, I've made $17, almost $18 total. So unless somebody is going in to give like a super thanks, or going to my Patreon, or actually just saying like, hey, I want to support the channel and sending something to my Cash App, we cannot make any kind of money off of this. So these guys, you know, they got their own shops, they got their connections with these cigar companies and these cigar of the month clubs and all that. I feel them. Try to get your money, get your bread, man. Like, this is hard work. Like, it takes a lot of time, not just doing the lives, not just doing reviews and all that. Like you got to write the show. You got to edit. You got to do all that. I get your money. I understand it. But the house rule says that you can't do that. So the moment you do that, Martina Maya, out of here. Lee Mack, out of here. Insomniac, out of here. Like it's just gonna keep happening because they keep trying it. Gotta play the game by the rules, man. You can't go out of bounds. If you're playing football, if you catch the ball and your foot is out of bounds, you out. And that's what it is. This gatekeeper tastes like dirty socks with tuna with a hint of dried fruit. And that sound about right. I think all those flavors are real. Callie said they've been on that bees and breaking the rules. And look, that's the thing, man. It's like, look, I'm a renegade by nature. I always have been. But at the same time, if you're gonna be a renegade and you're gonna be a rebel, you still gotta have your own set of rules. And you still, if you're gonna go into somebody's outfit, if you're gonna put on your mask and you're gonna go in there and stick up the place, you gotta see how that place operates before you go in there and try to stick up the place. If you're gonna march to the beat of your own drum, you gotta know how to play that shit. You gotta know how to at least play the drums a little bit, right? So when I do my show is not gonna be like Cigar Hound Dog. It's not gonna be like Master Your Ash. It's not gonna be like If You Know You Know. It's not gonna be like Cigar Head Fred. I gotta do my own thing and I gotta do it my own way. So I'm giving y'all pop culture. I'm giving y'all memes. I'm giving y'all jokes and blooper reels. And I'm giving y'all top 10s. And I'm giving you bias guides. I'm giving y'all my personality. I'm giving you my love for music and my love for movies and TV and all that kind of stuff. I got to put that in my channel to, so that those of y'all that rock the way that I rock, y'all will be interested in it. And it's going to be like, yo, y'all know what EKB is going to do. And that's the only way you're going to do it. I don't want my channel to go anywhere. I worked too hard for almost 4 years to build up my 3,000 subscribers, to get to the point where y'all come into the lives and actually have conversations this way. I'm not trying to throw my channel away. I'm playing the game the way I play the game. Nah, man, I ain't listening to no music yet, man. I ain't listening to that Killer Mike yet, man. Look, I really don't like Killer Mike. The songs that I've heard from the album, I like what 3000 was doing. That's my man. But like, I can't get with Killer Mike. Even when like we talked about this before with Run the Jewels. I love LP. I've loved LP since the Fun Crusher days. I cannot get with Killer Mike, man. I'm gonna try this album. I swear I'm gonna try it. It's just between the move, trying to climb Mount Fuji, and getting my kids back in school, swim lessons, trying to work with the channel. I can't tell you the last album that I just kind of put on and just listened to. My wife just bought me, she went to Tokyo and came back with Tyler the Creator's Eagle album. That's one of my all-time favorite albums on vinyl. And I ain't even put the needle to that shit yet. I haven't played it. Just because, for me, man, music is like a spiritual thing. You need some time to absorb what you're listening to and catch a vibe with it. And I would need to really sit down and dissect Killer Mike's album. And I just haven't had time to do it. I can't tell you the last album I played straight through. I ain't had the time to focus on it. Let me see, I don't want to miss anybody here. G said, you thinking about expanding it into the podcast space? Yeah, dude, I was literally just thinking about that today. And because I don't know exactly what is going to happen with the Vintage Cigar as a channel. Because honestly, I'm kind of getting tired of just like your standard reviews. Like I'm kind of getting bored with it. And I try to make them fun just so I can kind of keep myself entertained. And you guys have been showing a lot of love for the recent reviews and stuff like that. But the podcast space, for me, I feel like that's something that can be monetized. And you can get it on Apple, you can get it on Spotify and all that kind of stuff. And I just want a chance to really just sit back and really make a good cigar podcast. Because most of the cigar podcasts out there, not to be crass or not, but most of them are trash. And they don't have much focus or direction. they're either trying to oversell, and there's so many ads that you really can't even enjoy the cigar, or they're going off on these tangents that you don't even know or care what they're talking about. I feel like I can make this fun and make it in a way. So I got some music that I need to go through, and I'm kind of writing the show now to kind of figure out like how I want the format of the show to be. So I got some notes on it, and that's the only reason why I haven't jumped into that space yet. I'm trying to get my movie review channel, and I'm trying to get this podcast off the ground. But in October we move, so right now it's just kind of hard to focus on just kind of making everything for the show. So right now I'm just kind of focused on YouTube right now. But I'm dead set on making that podcast happen, yo. Texas said the new Ninja Turtles was funny. I enjoyed that movie, man. I took the kids to see that joint out here not too long ago, and I like the fact that they actually made the turtles actually feel like teenagers. They kind of changed a lot of the characters up, like with Rocksteady and Bebop, and they changed up Baxter Stockman and all that kind of stuff. But I think they did it well. They changed April O'Neil. She was a completely different character, but she reminded me of my oldest daughter, like personality-wise and look-wise. So that brought a connection to me. But it was a damn good movie all the way around. The animation was dope, man. The turtles themselves almost looked like claymation, but then the background was looked like graffiti and markers and stuff like that. So it was just a dope movie all the way around. So AJA by Steely Dan straight through. Steely Dan is dope, man. So I got to go back. You know what? I don't think I've ever listened to a total Steely Dan album, and that's something that in some point in time I'm gonna have to get back and do. So Peter said there are no good cigar podcasts. And I see, Peter, I agree with you, man. And that's the thing. Like anybody's podcast, like I listen to podcasts all day. I think I got my headphones on right now. I walk around at work. I walk around all day when I'm working out. I got some kind of like YouTube or podcast going pretty much most of the time. And the thing about it, man, it's just like most of those podcasts, like they bore me to tears, and I don't feel like they really get in depth enough with the cigars. There's no real personality or entertainment value, and I just haven't found one that's like, damn, I want to listen to this. I want something to be Joe Rogan level, Joe Button podcast level. You know, I want people to be able to like they cracking up, they laughing, they connecting with it, but at the same time it's gonna be informative, and it's gonna talk about stuff that people want to hear. And so far, I'm not getting that from any of the cigar podcasts that's out there at all right now. Let's see. Callie said, Cigars Daily, I'll play. Long Ash Pod is super hit or miss. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Like, I don't like the hosts either. And that's the thing. Like, their personalities kind of rub me the wrong way, man. And it's just like, if you can't really feel the host of the podcast, how are you gonna get into the podcast material in general? You know. And I'm not saying I'm gonna be the most likable cat in the world, whatever. But I feel like, man, if y'all can chop it up with me like this for a live, or y'all can chop it up with the reviews, and the response that we get from the New Wave show and all that kind of stuff like that, man. I feel like I should be able to make a podcast that's a little bit different than what everybody else is doing, and it should be fun. So I can bring cats like G on, and we can talk sports for a minute, and keep it related to the cigars that we smoking at the same time. What's Cameron and Mace show that they're in podcast that they got going right now? It is what it is. The way them dudes, like, they still talking sports, but when they go off on their tangents and they start laughing and joking with each other, you still into the show. That's the kind of vibe that I want. I wanted to be fun, and we talking about shit, but at the same time, it's still based on what the topic at hand is. We talking cigars. So you wanted to feel that way. So I want to take that lounge thing that I'm doing with the Vintage Cigar and bring that shit to the podcast world. We're gonna see if that works. Let's see, sports and stogies. If you like sports and cigars, okay. See, I didn't even know about that one, Tip. So I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna have to dig that one up. I haven't even seen that. So are they on Stitcher? Do you know? I tried watching Cigar Dojo. and Half Wheel. Them cats, they are extremely knowledgeable about cigars. And they are extremely knowledgeable about the cigar industry. But they are boring as fuck, man. They got like no personality. It's like most of the time they don't. It seems like they don't even care about cigars anymore. Like they don't smoke so many cigars that they burnt out. And I don't want that vibe to be on the show, man. Like why I want to chill with somebody that's just like doing it just to make it go. You know, it's just like, come on, man. La Russell. La Russell is why is that familiar, man? Put me on to who La Russell is right now, man. I'm drawing a blank. Just off the top, I don't know. It's on Simplecast? All right, I'll take a look into that. Anthony said, if you develop your own cigars, what region would you make? What flavors would you prefer? That's a great question. I can't see myself just sticking to one region. I would want to mix it up with, Nicaragua, of course. I love Dominican tobacco. I like the African tobaccos. I like Pennsylvania right now. Pennsylvania is phenomenal. I love Mexican San Andreas. I love the Mexican tobaccos. So for me, I think it would be one of those things where it's going to be just all about the blend within itself. I was giving props to Nick Melillo and Steve Saka the other day, just because one of the questions that I get asked the most is like, who would I want to work with? And I would want to work with those cats because I like the fact that they love Connecticut broadleaf, and that's kind of like the staple of their brands. And they love Mexican San Andres, but I also love like Sumatra, and I love a lot of the Ecuadorian tobaccos, be it Connecticut or Sumatra or whatever. I think they're all really like phenomenal. So it's all about the blending and how you take those and how you put it together and what kind of flavor profiles you're doing. And with me, I would want to, like, if I'm doing my own blending, I'm trying to mix it up. I'm trying to give you a banging Connecticut. I'm trying to give you a banging Maduro. I'm trying to give you something that is a mix of a whole bunch of different blends that, that's going to give you a complex flavor profile. And that's what matters to me. You know what I'm saying? Usually like Honduran is something I would stay away from. But with the Kintsugi, that's Honduran tobacco for the most part. But that thing doesn't taste like any cigar that's out there. So I'm trying to bring something to the table. Like I'm going to give you something that's going to be sweet and creamy. But I also want to give you something that's going to be earthy and give you some, dark chocolate notes and give you some espresso and coffee. All of that kind of keeps you entertained. So each time you get in a different mood, it's just like my reviews, right? If you look at the way I do my reviews, the way I do my thumbnails, like none of my shows look the same as the last show. With Cigar Hound Dog, his show is very formulaic, and it works that way. That consistency is gold. But for me, like each time you watch a show, I'm trying to give you the vibe that I was in while I was smoking that cigar. And I'm trying to give you the mood that I'm in. Like when I'm picking my cigars, I'm like, okay, what mood am I in right now? Do I want something that's going to be creamy? Do I want something that's going to be lighter today? Then if that's the mood that I'm in, I want to have that. So if I ever did my own portfolio of cigars, I would want to have it so when you pick that next cigar, whatever the cigar is that I release, it's going to taste different than the last one, and it's going to give you a different mood, and it's going to give you a different vibe. Does that answer the question? I hope that made sense. I know that was kind of like drawn out. Texas said with Cigar Dojo is so boring. I agree, man. Same thing with Half Wheel. And I appreciate their knowledge, man. So I don't want to take anything from them. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on them at all, because that's definitely not the case. But it's just like, as far as what I want, if I'm gonna do 45 minutes to an hour of a show, I want you to be entertained for that 45 minutes to an hour, right? I would hope even right now, just doing this, we've been going for an hour right now on this live. I would want it to be entertaining and informative. Like I would want y'all to feel like y'all taking away something from me every time that I come to the table, right? If we're talking sports, I want y'all to take something away from it. If I'm talking about this cigar, I want you to like, okay, you getting some how he feels about the cigar, how he feels about the brand, how he feels about the blends, the flavors. You want it to be worthwhile, but you don't want it to be boring as well, you know? So like when y'all throw out jokes, we still can be able to go back and forth on it. That's the vibe that I want to create. God damn. Or I can ash myself and burn the shit out my leg. Hey, Callie, man, thanks for coming through as always, bro. Keep smoking good, man. Appreciate you. Really? And you know what, man? So Justin said the only thing that's really consistent about my show is the background. And that's true. And even that changes up quite a bit, man. But, and that's one thing that I'm gonna lose, man. When I move, I'm gonna lose this view. I hate to lose this shit, man. I feel like it's a part of my show. I feel like it's a part of me at this point right now, man. So it's gonna be hard to kind of get away from that. But at the same time, on the only real thing that's consistent is me. You know, I'm gonna give you the review. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel about the cigar. But you always gonna get different music. You're always gonna get different sounds. You're always gonna get, you know, different interactions with it. My vibe might be completely different. I'm not gonna be the same way all day, man. I'm one of those energetic people. Like, you know, sometimes I'm like in a great mood. Sometimes I'm in a chill mode. Sometimes, you know, I just want to sit back and just smoke a good cigar. You know what I'm saying? And whatever I'm feeling that day, I try to give that to y'all. And that's really the key to the show. And that I would say that's even when you like, so let's compare it to a cigar, right? With all the Steve Saka cigars, the baseline is you're gonna get this earthy component to his cigars. It don't matter if it's Sin Compromiso, it don't matter if it's Sobre Mesa, it doesn't matter if it's the Nakas Male. You're gonna get this earthy baseline to cigars, and it almost feels like that he's trying to give you this is our starting point, and then he'll put spices in there, or then he'll put something in there that kind of makes it sweet, or then he'll do something that kind of gives you like a menthol or minty taste, or he'll give you something that is going to be a little bit spicier than the other blends, but that core baseline is there through all of his cigars. So I try to do that with my show. I try to give you my personality and my mood. It's still gonna be hip hop. It's still gonna be Japan culture. It's still gonna be a little bit of soul in there, but at the same time, it's like the focus is gonna be on the cigar. But I'm gonna give you that baseline of whatever my personality or my mood is for that show. Dude, Ty said he would have a hard time doing anything but smoking with this view, bro. I come up here. If y'all weren't here, I would still be smoking this cigar up here right now because the day is perfect. And then when you come out here at night, and when y'all see the shows that I do at night, and that city right there in Zushi is all lit up, it's just the most beautiful thing, man. I can see the crest of Mount Fuji right now, and it's covered in clouds, and I can just see the peak of it. And you can just sit here and just zone out, man, and just, your day gets so much better, man, because you just vibing. And I got cicadas going. I got all these weird bird calls and shit that's in the background, man. It's just a beautiful place to be. I hate to lose this. And I'm going to a place called Sasebo that's by the water. The water is like crystal clear, and it's mountains all around. It's no Fuji, but it's mountains all around. So I don't know what my view is gonna be like there. I might be in the city portion where it might be just homes, because you see right here with Japan, it's like homes stacked on top of homes out here, man. And that might be my vibe. That might be my view. I don't know. I might get a garage this time around, and I might just be able to set up a studio. Who knows? But the core baseline is gonna be, I'm still gonna give y'all my love for music and movies, my love for sports, and my sense of humor, and then I'm gonna talk cigars with you. So that part ain't gonna change. I got another cigar, man. I might go for about another hour or so. So you got some time to light up. We're gonna see how this rolls. I got a little bit of time today, man, since I got up early. Some more West Coast heads might come in, so we never know. So Anthony said, how do you choose your cigar that you smoke because of a drink, what you've eaten, how you feeling? And that's funny. That's what, when I initially started the show, the whole thing was like I was downstairs before I started the live, like going through the cigars, trying to figure out what I was gonna smoke. And man, I really didn't know. And I'm looking at it like, yo, I just had Dunbarton and I've been smoking that shit a lot. And for Fuente, I always talk for Fuente, so I don't want to do that. Crown heads, I ain't really in the mood for crown heads right now, so I ain't gonna do that. And I was trying to just kind of base it on my mood. It's early in the morning here, so I wanted something with some like sweet Connecticut type notes. And I picked up um, this diamond crown, and when I did the cold draw on it, because it was already cut, it tasted like frosted flakes, and I was like, I've been rocking with JC Newman, so let me go with that today. Let's smoke that. And I haven't done a diamond crown. And when I do these, I try to smoke some of my better cigars. You know, y'all know I try to do smoke your best cigars, and I don't like you know, just to let my best cigars just sit. So Peter sent me some a whole bag of like Dunbarton cigars. That's my Dunbarton brother right there. And a lot of these cigars were just samples, and I wanted that so bad. So what I think I'm just gonna, but you know, a lot like I said with Saka, most of them have that dark, heavier bass line to it. Even if it's gonna be a Todos Las Diaz, which is a lot lighter, it's still a strong cigar. And you know, same thing goes with not just Todos Las Diaz. What was I thinking about? It was another one, Mi Querida Black. Same thing. And I was like, I've done those a lot, so I don't want to go through that lane. So that's how I chose the cigar today. So I usually go based on mood. It's very rare, unless I'm doing it for the channel or unless I'm doing it to have a review and trying to give feedback on something. That's the only time that I go based on pairing. Like when I did the Red Meat Lovers, I had Wagyu steak, I had some wine. I'm like, I'm putting all that together. That's what this cigar is designed for, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll do that when I'm experimenting and trying to, so that way, like I'll have a baseline and something that I can explain to you guys about. So I can give you some kind of information based on the cigar. But when I'm just smoking for myself, I'm going for whatever mood that I'm in. And just like, yo, if I'm just trying to chill, if I want to smoke something that's gonna relax me, I might grab one of, you know, a JDN Connecticut, or I might grab a Warhawk, or I might grab a Sober Mesa. But sometimes, like, I want some really robust flavors, and I want something that's full body. So let me go with LFD. I want something that's really that's gonna give me a kick. Every now and then, I might want something spicy. So I'm like, yo, let me grab like a Quattro Cinco, so I can get some spice. Or I want some pepper. Let me get a flathead today. Let me, you know, so that's how I think about it. That's how I approach most cigars, if that makes sense. Raffy, what up, man? You've been catching quite a few lives, man. Glad you up here in the building, man. What's up? So Peter said he hasn't had any of those samples yet. He's just letting them age. Bro, that ain't gonna happen right here, man. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that ain't happening. I had that bag in my hand and I was looking at that and I grabbed two of those joints out and I was like, I want these right now. But I was like, I'm always doing Dunbarton. And that's part of the trouble is like, you kind of get into those vibes where you got your go-to cigars where you know how they smoke. So you just keep smoking them all the time. I can do that with like the Supreme Leaf. I can do that with Mi Querida. I can do that with a lot of the Principal cigars. Principal, I've been really feeling Principal lately. So I'm trying that, like the La Carême, I can smoke that on a regular basis. So I try not to get so caught up in a rut that I'm just gonna be smoking the same things. Because I noticed that when I get in that point, those are the cigars that I'm bringing up all the time. No doubt, Texas, come back through, man. I'll be around. Texas said the M81 with the black and whiskey. See, he being funny because he know I ain't smoking that cigar. That's funny. Um, Not much coming home from a cigar shop. Decided which one I want to smoke. What you grab though? What you grab from what you pick up from the smoke shop, man? That's always important. Like I always like to see what people when they go into the shop, you know, because you doing the same thing, and when you in there, you kind of going through all the cigars and all your options, and you kind of like, okay, this is what I want to smoke tonight. This is what I'm in the mood for. This is new. I haven't had this cigar yet. I love to see how people kind of deciphering what they're gonna grab from a lounge. I miss that experience. I don't get it nearly as much as I used to. Like Peter, thanks to all the people who have been supporting the channel, I got a lot more cigars that I can kind of choose from now. Because before, people were actually started, you know, sending in the bombs and stuff like that, man. I would only have about 40 cigars on me max at a time. I had that one little box that y'all saw me carrying around for a while. and I would fill that sucker up, and that's all I had. And it's kind of crazy now that I got that box, and I got a few Tupperdoors, and I got the humidor, and it's like it's crazy now having a choice, and it's like having sneakers, man. It's more difficult now that I got more choices because I'm like, damn, what do I pick? So he said he grabbed a box of the Aladino Limitadas, one of the best I've had this year. Look, when it comes to, and I don't smoke enough of them as I should. Eroa, CLE, and Aladino, they hit. They like that whole line, all that whole family get busy with cigars. And Aladino is a surprisingly good cigar, man. I love like that Cameroon is money, the classic is money, and I can't wait to try that limited, man. I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, but I gotta do it. I gotta do that, and I gotta pull the trigger on those West Tampa cigars. I haven't smoked any of those yet, and I got a couple of them. Yeah, that Aladino Reserve is, I can't even believe that I didn't mention that. I love that Corojo Reserve. That is fantastic. And a lot of the times I get in the mood for Corojo, and that's a good one to go to. Corojo is probably like the only leaf, that and maybe broadleaf, that I can kind of pick out. You could probably put a blindfold on me, and I could probably pick out Corojo because like that cedar note and the spice is so prominent in those cigars that like you always know when you got a good Corojo. And the way they blend that Aladino is so balanced, but you still get that spice and you still get that nice cedar note in there. It's such a good cigar. So Rafi said he picked up an Illusione Documents. I haven't had that one yet. I rock with Illusione. The only thing with Illusione to me though is that they focus so much on being Cubanesque that they can kind of, it gets stale for me after a while. Now don't get me wrong, I love Illusione, and I will keep smoking Illusione. I love them, but sometimes I get bored with them. Let's see. He said Maduro and the Ultra, and also picked up the Tatuaje Cojono '03. Look, that, I think I'm saying it right with Cojono. That Tatuaje is probably one of my favorite Tatuajes. Um, Tatuaje, like I love the, what's the red joint, the number 6. I love the Drac, but that Cojono, man, I think the one I had was the 2012. '03 is crazy that you got that one. That's nuts that you went back that far. That thing should be amazing. But that was honestly one of the best blends that I had last year. And it was such a really good cigar. I don't know if I put it on any of the lists. I can't remember, but I know I was enjoying that cigar every time I had it. That Avion is good too. That's a really good one. So you got some good choices there. Um, I don't know if you're trying to let that Cojono rest for a minute, but if I would pick any of those, that's the one I would go with. That's the one I would light up. Wife getting me a box and wants me to choose between Dunbarton's Sobremesa Brulee or the Stillwell Holiday. God, okay, shoot. So here's the thing. God, that's a tough choice. Mm. So it's gonna be like, if you want something that's gonna be extremely smooth and extremely fragrant and aromatic, that Stillwell Star. I just had that one the other day, and I thoroughly enjoyed that cigar. So sometimes you want a sweeter profile, and you want something real sweet, and gives you just like a creamy, smooth, sweet profile, then you're gonna want to go with that Stillwell. That thing is fragrant, and it's beautiful on the palate, and like you're not gonna be bored with it. But if you want something that's gonna be more complex, and if that's how you smoke the majority of the time, you're looking for something that got some spice to it, but also is balanced with the sweetness, then go with that Brulee. I absolutely love both of those cigars, and y'all know that I'm a real big fan of just Dunbarton in general. So that's a real tough choice. That's really gonna depend on you getting the box. So you're gonna be going back to that box quite a bit. That's gonna be something that you're gonna be smoking on a lot. You got to get the one that you're gonna feel like is gonna be more to Which one are you in the mood for more? Are you into the spicy, complex level more, or are you into the sweet and smooth more? That's gonna be what you're gonna have to base your decision on. That's the only way I can help out with that one. It's gonna be like, what are you feeling like right now? Because either way, I feel like when you get one, you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I had the other one. You know what I'm saying? Because either way, you can't lose. It's a win-win situation. You can have your wife go eeny, meeny, miny, mo on that one. You're gonna win. I hope that helped, man. That's a tough one. All right. So speaking of the wife, let me give you all a story. So y'all know my wife works in retail, and she's a manager in retail right now. She's about to have her own store. That's why we're moving. So she's at her shop the other day, and she works for the Navy. So the store that she goes to, that she works at all the time, is more like a department store. So they got cigars, they got cleaning products, they got clothing, they got everything. That's just so that the Navy can go in there and they can shop, and when they get off the boat, they can get everything that they need. You know, it's not the grocery store, it's not the commissary, it's the department store. So one of her what do you call them? One of the stock people was doing a check in the back, and I don't know how they missed it because they just did inventory in July. They found 3K worth of cigars from 2022, just sitting in. It was just sitting in the warehouse. They got lost in the shuffle somehow. So he brought it to my wife and was like, yo, we got $3,000 worth of cigars right here. I don't know if they're any good or not. I don't know if we wasted this product. I don't know what to do. They know nothing about cigars. So they looking at them and they like, what are we gonna do with these cigars? Do we throw them out? Are they bad? Are we just basically just about to dump $3,000 worth of product? So she was like, yo, before I jump, let me check with my husband because he in his cigars and that's his thing. So they're looking at them, they were like, they can't be any good because all of the plastic that's on these cigars are yellow and they're brown. They gotta be bad. And I'm like, do not throw those cigars away. Don't do it. I'm like, yo, they've been aging. They've been at a steady temperature the whole time. It might be too much humidity on them. If they don't have any mold on those, well, look, just give them to me. And she was like, I can't do that. You're trying to get me fired. I just got this new position. Don't do that. And I was like, come on, yo. If y'all gonna get rid of them, give them to me. And they're not gonna be the best cigars. They're usually like some Camachos. It might be a Lafayette, some Cuban rounds or whatever. But all of those cigars got at least a year or two age on them. And they had to be aging at a temperature that caused them to the cellophane, the yellow on them. So they almost tossed all of those cigars. If she didn't tell me about this yesterday, they would have tossed all of those cigars. 3K. I was like, get them joints in a humidor right now and let them rest and get to the right temperature, and then y'all can sell them and they'll be fine. So I might have to go in there and rack up on some of those cigars, get them at a discount or something. Anyway, I just thought that was just kind of wild, man, that they was going to toss $3,000 worth of cigars that were perfectly fine. Let's see. Everybody's saying brulee, bro. So, hey, go with the brulee. I don't think you can lose either way, though. Rafi said, smoked the Tatuaje Lomo de Cerrado, de Cero, last night, and it was good. Tatuaje is solid, man. Tatuaje is one of those brands that I get bored with them sometimes, but when they hit, they hit. And that's a good one. So it's not gonna surprise me when you say you got a good Tatuaje. I mean, I know a lot of people love that Monster line. It's cool to me, but I got my go-tos when it comes to Viaje. And it's not Viaje, but Tatuaje. But it's one of those things, like if you notice, like I don't have them on the channel very often. You know, every now and then I'll do a review, or I'll post the Tatuaje up on Instagram every now and then. And I like them, but I don't even think I got a lot in the humidor right now. I think it's a couple of them. Shouts out to everybody that hit that like button, man. Y'all got me to 30, almost 30 likes right now, man. Much appreciate y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna be on the front page or anything like that, but this is the perfect time to come on, man. I'm glad y'all chilling with me, man. No, bro, especially with the Navy. Peter said it wouldn't be the first time the government wasted money. Dog, I work at a gym. This gym has had no AC in the gym for over 3 years. No air conditioner in the gym. How the heck does that happen? P rolling in the building. What's up, man? We got a superstar in the building. What up, homie? How you doing? Kendall was in the building too. What up, man? But they saying it's gonna cost them $16 million to fix the AC in one building. That shit crazy, yo. It ain't no way that we should be working out and working in the gym with no AC. I was in the weight room. I did a count in the weight room last night. It was 35 people in there. Imagine 35 Navy dudes sweating and picking up weights with no AC. How do you do that? But then we just closed the gym down the other day so they could bring in new workout equipment. They filled up 2 different areas with brand new workout equipment, new weights, new squat machines, all of this stuff, but you can't get AC. Only the Navy, bro. Only the Navy. What up, Kendall? Let's see, Ezra in the building too. What up, homie? So he said, the king of the best cigar beats. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to play DJ over here, man. I'm trying to make a vibe for y'all, man. I'm trying. It just, it feels good that y'all appreciate that shit, man. I feel like the channel should be growing a lot faster because I don't think it's anybody that's doing the show like my show. But honestly, man, when you really think about it, I'm in a niche environment. Most people are not really coming for the music. I've noticed that a lot of people, for their cigar reviewers, they want people like in suits and, you know, sitting in a lounge chair and got like, you know, cigar prop, or what's the guy's name, Seals or whatever. I can't remember what his name is. Not Zeal, but Jeremy Seals or whatever. They want the whiskey pour in and all that other kind of stuff. That's not my cigar vibe. It is at times. I like to put on a good suit. I like to have a good glass of wine with my cigar. I like my leather chairs. I like my armchairs and all that kind of stuff. But like, I don't live like that on a daily basis, man. I'm sitting here with y'all. I'm still in my workout clothes, on my rooftop, looking out over the beach. That's my vibe. I'm giving y'all reggae, rock, soul music, the shit that you just kick back to, smoke a good cigar, and talk with your homies. You know, if that's not people's vibe, then it's not their vibe. That's nice and woody. All right, so we just lit up the Patoro Gar. Can't really see with the light, kind of washed out, but when the cigar stars out good, you know it's gonna be money. So Kendall said, "Oh, look, let me, before I get to Kendall, let me go in order, man. I really try to go in order. I don't want to miss anybody." He said, "Yeah, that's a pricey AC for sure. They wildin'." He said, Anthony said, "I still have the Tatuaje Monster Mash from 2021, box of 14, still wrapped up, deciding when I should smoke them." What you waiting for? You got 14 cigars. What you waiting for, man? Light that up, see what you feel about it. And then, you know, let a couple of them age and then see what you think about it once they got some more age to them. Come on, man. Smoke your best cigars, man. Enjoy that cigar. You know, that's what they meant for. They meant to light up. Yo, 30 people cooking in that gym. And that's just one section. The whole gym. Like, if I'm just sitting there doing my work, or if I'm sitting there waiting for people to come up so I can give them equipment and all that kind of stuff, I'm sweating, just sitting in there. And we got all these fans and all this shit. They gave us all these fans and these whack ass AC units, and we still in there cooking and sweating. So imagine what it's like when you actually working out. That shit's crazy. Have I ever tried Japanese toilets? I live in a Japanese home, man. Like I don't know. This is a tangent. I don't know how I'm going back to the United States without a Japanese toilet, bro. I don't know. Heated seats. Got a bidet on that joint. They sing to you. They are amazing. Everything that you've ever heard about those Japanese toilets is real, and that's one of my favorite things in this fucking house, other than my view. I love my toilet, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wish I could smoke a cigar sitting on that toilet. So Kendall asked, do I like Nate Sherman cigars? I do not like Nate Sherman cigars. I don't care if it's Ferio Tego. I don't care if it's Timeless. I don't care what kind of. I've not had a Nate Sherman that I've liked. None of them. I've tried multiple. All of them taste like a paper bag. I can't stand those cigars. They dry. They accurate. I don't like them. Michael Herklotz probably hates my guts. I don't like his cigars, man. They just too bland for me. I know it's probably hot as hell out there in Texas, so I feel you, Texas. So Peter said, I'd rather have a cigar on that rooftop than in a fake lounge. And I feel you. And honestly, man, this is one of the best places to smoke. I really wish I could bring y'all up here, set up the chairs and the tables, bring some nice drinks. And when the weather like this, man, we could just sit up here and smoke some good. It's really one of the best places in the world just to chill and lounge. I sit up here sometimes, man, I just turn on my phone, put on a sports game or put on YouTube and just go to my own place. My kids know if they don't find me in the house, they come upstairs to the roof because they know I'm here most of the time. This is my spot, man. I feel you on that. And Kendall said, when you got a family and kids, you can't do that all the time. And it's true. It's true. And it's hard to like juggle everything with the wife and kids, man. Taking the kids to swim lessons, guitar lessons, and trying to take them out to play basketball and, do all that kind of stuff. Getting them up early, getting them ready for school. It's a lot of work, man. But I'm here for the people at the same time, too. Kendall asked, have you seen any of the Japanese dance hall queen shows? I haven't, man. I haven't. Most of that is in Tokyo. And it's funny, it's like I just met this girl who was telling me that she's trying to get into a lot of the dances that are happening. So she's doing like the Vogue dance, when they do the ballroom dancing, and she's into belly dancing and the dance hall. And I was supposed to link up with her just so I could go check out some of the clubs and check out some of the spots. But with all the stuff that I got going on, getting ready for the move and just, getting the kids back into school, I ain't had a chance to really link up with her yet. She's probably pissed off at me. But hey, family come first, man. So Anthony said, Tatuaje cigars are strong. I'm hoping that the strength will die down. It definitely will, because a lot of them that I've had were really aged for the most part, and some of those you can get a really strong pepper kick from them too. So yeah, I feel you on that. God damn, this cigar is amazing. This is so good. It's funny when you go from one cigar to the next, and then like you see the difference in the tobacco quality and the way that it's rolled. Like, cause that JC Newman was really good, but goddamn, this shit is perfect. Look how it's burning, man. This shit is perfect. That's a beautiful retrohale too. It's like cherry wood and pepper. That's fantastic. But yeah, man, I feel you. Giving the time to the tattoo out here. I understand what you're doing, so I feel you on that. But that Kahonu, man, that thing is magic. So you can't really go wrong with that. Texas said, put the toilet on the roof. If I could, I would. I would sit here with my phone and a cigar, and that would be the life. So Ezra asked, are Cubans more expensive in Japan? Right now, no. I've talked about this before on the channel. Shouts out to everybody that hit that like button too. We at 31, man. Y'all the dopest. Um, right now, the yen rate is really low. So I think it's at like 140 or 150 to the dollar. So that way it's like a discount within itself. But the other thing about Japanese tobacco regulations is that every cigar that they have, they base the price on the popularity of the cigar, and then they set that price. So, like, say for instance, for let's say like a really good Cuban might be like anywhere from 6,000 to 3,000 yen. If we approximate that on a one-to-one basis, and say the yen was one-to-one, that would be either $30 or $60 for, like, say for instance, maybe like a Cohiba or maybe a Trinidad. Um, you could probably get a Ramon Alones for around the 2,000 yen range or something like that. That's about $20 or so. So they're not super expensive. But no matter where I go in Japan, that cigar is going to be the exact same price in Hokkaido at the north, in Tokyo, or in Nagasaki or Okinawa. From one end to the other, they're all going to be the same price, no matter which store you go into. So saying that to say I could probably get a really good Cuban from anywhere from $20 to $30. Now that's not cheap, but at the same time you're buying Cuban cigars, and some of them you can get for like 12 to 14, depending on the if it's a smaller Ramona Lones or like a Romeo y Julieta or something like that, you can get them at a really affordable price. So you can actually get them at a good cost here, especially since the yen rate is so low. I've been trying for like 5 or 6 Saturdays just to go out and buy a bunch of Cuban cigars so I can send them out to people, but I just haven't had the chance to do it. But that's the cool thing about the Japanese pricing system and their regulations. Like, if you're just going to a cigar tobacco shop, then you can really get all of their Cubans at a really good price. And they are more focused on Cubans, Davidoff, Fuente, Plasencia, and Rocky Patel. Those are the majority. That's probably pretty much in that order of what you will get the most, and when you're just going into a regular lounge. Then they'll have some other brands like Te Amo, or some brands from like Honduras or some other regions and things like that. So there's some options there, but the main thing that you're gonna get is Cuban and Davidoff. That's like Davidoff got their claws in Japan. Like they got Davidoff Geneva stores all around here, and you can get Davidoff just about anywhere you want to go. And the rest is gonna be Cubans, and then the other ones that I named. If you guys aren't up on Patoro, get up on Patoro ASAP. Right now, if I'm leading anybody to pick up brands that they don't smoke all the time, right now on the top of my list, and I might make a show out of this, is Patoro, Principal Cigars, and Aventura. I can always talk about Dumbarton, I can always talk about Foundation, I can always talk about Fuente, but if you're not smoking these cigars that I just mentioned, get on them right now. Those are the brands that y'all need to just start smoking. This thing, the draw is perfect. It's not the most flavorful Patoro that I've had, but the body of the smoke is a perfect medium. The burn is perfect. The construction is phenomenal. It's an even pepper, and that wood profile is like cherry wood and cedar. That's just outstanding. All right, yo, I'll let you know when I go out there. I'm trying to scoop up a lot, man. So I'm gonna see what I can do. Let's see. Anthony said I paid $350 plus for Davidoff Master Selection 2012 plus $35 a piece. Not good at all. And look, y'all know I talk about Davidoff a lot up here, man. And that's why I did that buyer's guide for Davidoff the other day. Because when it comes to the white label and the cost for those white label um, Davidoffs, to me, they don't have enough flavor profile to meet that cost. Granted, does Davidoff generally have good construction? Yes. To me, do I think they're the best? No, I do not. I think Padron, if you're gonna go like high end, is gonna be much better as far as the quality of the construction of the cigar. But you can get a Patoro that's gonna be on that level. You can get 1502 that's gonna be on that level. You can get La Flor Dominicana that's gonna be on that level, and it's not worth paying that much. So that's why I was trying to lead everyone to the Nicaragua series, the Yamasas, the late hours. That's going to give you more complexity with those cigars because a lot of those white labels are just going to be even kill, one note. But I'm noticing with the Japanese palate, they don't go for a lot more of the complex and stronger Maduros and things like that. That's really not their lane. So they like a lot of those smooth, laid back. And to be honest with you, the Japanese culture is kind of like 10 to 15 years, if not 20 years back when it comes to cigars. They're still, wearing white gloves and in three-piece suits and, cutting your cigars with scissors and doing all that kind of stuff like that. So they like that real mild, cigar profile, and they kind of like that with their cigarettes and stuff too. So you got to kind of understand that suits their profile. But as far as American and Western palates, we're getting more into the Costa Rican, Dominican, and Nicaraguan blends, Mexican San Andres, a lot more spicier profiles. I Kendall, you saying they're sensational? I ain't gonna say they're sensational. They're solid. They all right. I mean, but if you give me the choice between something like one of the white labels, or if you give me something like a Yamasa, I'm taking that Yamasa every day. It's a very unique cigar. The spice levels are unique. I would rather have that because it's gonna tantallate my palate a little bit more. It's gonna stimulate me a lot more. Now, I know the Millennium is your go-to, and that's a good cigar. But once again, I would take that box press Nicaragua over that any day. But that's just for me because I want a little bit more complexity the majority of the time. He says sensational. Let's see. Texas said, I like Camacho's. Last one I tried was the Corojo. And see, I like what Camacho was doing with that line where they would give you like the Criollo, they would give you the Corojo, and they got a couple more where they go down to different lines and they give you all the different wrappers. And for me, that's a good thing because if you're trying to get familiar with what a flavor profile for a specific wrapper tastes like, those Camachos are money. And that's something I would recommend if you're just trying to get a feel of what your wrapper profile is going to be like. Those cigars are great. They're at a great price. They're accessible. You can always get your hands on them. So I'm not mad at that at all. It's just like I just don't smoke Camachos on a regular basis. Now, let's say if we in a lounge and somebody like, yo, I got a Camacho right here, especially a Corojo, I'm gonna take that bad boy. I'm gonna smoke it. I like them, but it's just not something I'm gonna go out of my way for. And G said the Yamasa is his favorite too. Yeah, that Yamasa is banging, man. Like, give me some kind of complexity. Yo, you can keep saying that they're sensational, man. I don't think anybody gonna hop on that bandwagon. And look, so you were talking about that Perdomo has that as well too. Perdomo gets a lot of flack, man, and I don't think it's deserved. But I like Perdomo. I just like. I think it's. I think his. When you talk about Nick Perdomo in general, I think his personality. It's not like he has a bad personality. The dude is extremely knowledgeable. He's really good on social media, and he seems to be a really personable cat. And he knows his shit about cigars. His quality control is out of this world. All of his cigars smoke just like this. All of them. Even what is his the lot 23? I think it's lot 23, whatever his budget brand is. That thing smokes really good. The Champagne series, it smokes really good. His sun grown, magnificent. And they smoke really well. That Champagne series, the Maduro, they all smoke really well. His Corojo, and to me, it's smart if you're gonna have a vast portfolio like Perdomo. You give somebody whatever choice that they're looking for. You give them whatever they need, and that's the same thing that Camacho does. And I think those huge brands are necessary for that. When you're talking about Altadis or you're talking about STG in general, they're giving even Drew Estates. They're giving you a ton of options, and they're giving you a chance to explore cigars and getting into that. I just feel like I've been smoking and reviewing and trying enough cigars that I'm at a point where I kind of know what profiles I'm looking for, or I'm going to be looking for something that's completely different, that's outside of the box. So I'm going to go to more of a principal cigars, or I might go to another boutique blend like a brand like Cavalier or something like that. I might go to ADV just to kind of give me something to kind of mix it up to kind of keep me entertained. But I am not mad at Perdomo at all. And I try to talk them up a lot more now so that people will just kind of like, hopefully that image that people have of Perdomo will kind of like go away over time. Because I want people to appreciate that they make really well constructed, flavorful cigars. They're really good. I agree with you, G. And I mean, you can get that from Davidoff too. So I don't want to sound like I'm just totally shitting on Davidoff like I do with certain brands that I don't like. But I do like Davidoff. But spending $300 plus for a box, or spending $35 for each of your cigars, there's too many other options that I can get for this $7 to $20 range that will smoke just as well and be a lot more flavorful. That's my perspective on it. Like I look at it like that because what value am I getting for my dollar, right? Can I get a cigar that's gonna be $15 to $20 that's gonna smoke really well? Then I'd rather do that. Or I can go to Sanj Patel and get his industry killers for $7 and it's gonna smoke really well. So that's just me. And G said I think it's the branding. They need to refresh on the packaging and label of Perdomo. They really do. They really do. You were so on point with that because I feel like when you're looking at Perdomo, like you know it's Perdomo when you see it, but it kind of feels like they are kind of dated and antiquated, and it kind of fits his personality. So I don't see them changing anytime soon. But I think that's what throws a lot of people off. But when you smoke the cigar, you're like, God damn, he gets busy, you know. But you don't want them to. You also don't want them to be like Aganorsa Leaf right now, when like every month or so it looks like they're changing their labeling, their banding, and it's cool to stay up to date, and it's smart to stay up to date. But how can you compete with Foundation or with Dunbarton when all of their bands look phenomenal? And then you got to deal with somebody like Caldwell, where I cannot stand their cigars, but their branding and their marketing is out of this world. Like how are you gonna beat that? Even with Alec Bradley and Alec and Bradley, like they're doing great things with their branding. You're gonna be drawn to those cigars, so you're gonna pick those cigars before you pick a Perdomo any day. But honestly, if knowing the cigar, if you give me the choice between Perdomo, Caldwell, or Blackbird, I'm picking Perdomo. But that's because I understand what the cigar is like. I'm not being fooled by the rappers. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Zamira says Perdomo is probably one of the most consistent sticks that you can find anywhere, and that is all facts. They are absolutely consistent. They're gonna burn well every freaking time. they're gonna smoke well every freaking time. So if you can get past how the cigars look, or get past the image of that brand, and you actually smoke the cigar, they're gonna be legit just about every time. Texas, you gotta try Perdomo, man. I recommend going to get either the 10th anniversary champagne or the 10th anniversary Maduro, or going to get their sun grown. I don't think you will be disappointed at all. But like you said, you smoked a ton of cigars, but you kind of overlooked that, and that's not uncommon. But I think it's worth it to go out and try it. I think you would be highly impressed with them. And yeah, regardless of the band, give me a good cigar. But you got to think, like, with everything, when it comes to your sports team, when it comes to the food that you're gonna buy, when it comes to your cigars, when it comes to your clothes, your shoes, you're gonna, sorry, kind of faded out there for a second. You you're gonna go with what your eyes see first. You're gonna eat with your eyes first. So it's only smart when you have those brands, Tatuaje, Foundation, Cavalier. You're gonna look at those brands. When you see them, they're gonna draw your attention every freaking time, right? Even Alec Bradley. Alec Bradley was biting the hell out of Caldwell, just because it could draw attention. But once you get that cigar, how is it gonna smoke? I know the brands. I know I can go to Patoro and I'm gonna get a good cigar every freaking time. I know I can go to Placencia for the most part and get a really good cigar. I know I can go to Perdomo and get a good cigar. I know what I'm getting, and that makes all the difference. Because after a while, like Rocky Patel kind of threw people off because after a while he was just throwing shit at the wall just to see what would stick. And I got to a point where I wouldn't pick up a Rocky Patel because I didn't know what it was gonna be. And that consistency is key. So that's why I was like, I'm going off about like those cigars. Of like Aventura, their cigars look good, but their branding is consistent. But the most important thing about that is like, I don't care if you get the Navigator, if you get the Conqueror, or Soledad, any cigar you pick up from Aventura is gonna hit, and it's gonna be money every time. Principal cigars, any cigar you pick up is gonna hit. So that kind of consistency for the cigar, it makes all the difference in the world. So Samira said that the 20th was a disappointment. Did I have the 20th? I think I did. It doesn't stand out, but that 10th anniversary is absolute fire. I totally agree. Have I tried Cass Dagley? It's so funny that you mentioned that, Kendall, because I was just about to bring up Cass Dagley. Literally, it crossed the brain before I read that last message. Yeah, I had the Daughters of the Wind. I enjoyed it. Somebody just sent that to me a minute ago. The reason why I didn't jump out the window with that, because Cass Dagley, I look at kind of like Illusione, because they go for that Cuban-esque profile that a lot of their cigars kind of taste the same. If you like one cigar, generally you're gonna like the other one. That Daughters of the Wind was a fantastic cigar. Great construction on those cigars. I like Cass Dagley, and I will smoke them, and because sometimes I'm in a mood for that very Cuban-esque, profile. That's funny that you read my thoughts like that, man. That's crazy. Have I had the Long Live the Queen? I just did a review on the Long Live the Queen. I don't like Caldwell cigars. I don't like them. I keep trying them, from the Anastasia to Long Live the King to the Blind Man's Puff to Long Live the Queen. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I'm not mad at anybody that does, but they taste like a paper bag to me. They look beautiful. They're beautiful looking cigars. Taste like shit. And I hate to be a Debbie Downer, man. I really do. But every time I've tried it, the last Czar, I put it out halfway through. I didn't like it. I keep trying them. I don't like them. Roma Craft is another consistent example. I don't know a lot about Roma Craft, man. Michael Prisdale with Master Your Ash has been trying to get me uh, on Roma Craft. When I got wind of Roma Craft was probably like 2, 3 years ago when they were really hot and everybody was talking about the Neanderthal and the Cro-Magnon and the Baca. I'm aware of them. I know enough about them to the point where like I know the brands and I know the lines and things like that. But like I don't have any of that. I don't have any reviews for them. I don't have any in the humidor because I was staying away from them because the reviews on them were super mixed and they were coming off kind of like a gimmick at the time. But I don't give my full opinion on those because I haven't smoked enough of them yet to say I really rock with this cigar. That's one that I gotta smoke to really get a full effect on how they are. The Blind Man's Puff was my first and last experience. First and last experience. I couldn't get with them, man. To me, and I've heard rumors about this, but it tastes like they just go to whatever tabacalera and they just rolled up a blend that somebody didn't purchase and didn't buy, and they buy all of those, and then they create these really cool bands, and then they put a band on whatever those second cigars are, and then that's what they sell. And I don't feel like there's any kind of like love or passion put into the blending. When you got Eladio Diaz, you got Noel Rojas, Steve Saka, Nick Melillo, Eric Espinoza. You got these blenders that take their time with their blends, and each time they come up with something that's unique and it tastes like a different profile. I don't feel like I get that from Caldwell. I've been hearing good things about that intemperance cigar, man. Matter of fact, that's one of the ones that Michael Prisdale was introducing me to, and I haven't tried it yet. Sooner or later, I'm gonna get my hands on it. Hey, man, get some rest, brother. Thank you for coming on the live, man. Appreciate you, Anthony. So, but when it comes to, say, for instance, Blackbird cigars, people love those. The branding on that and the marketing on those cigars are phenomenal. All the different birds and the different things and the colors that they use, those cigars look great. But to me, they smoke really hollow and they don't have a great flavor profile. The best one that I had was one that came from Pravada Club. It was one of those limited cigar editions. He did a blend that was called, what was it? It was like the 8 Ball or something like that. I know it had an 8 Ball on it. I can't remember what the cigar's name was. Forgive me for not remembering what that was. So when I had that cigar, it was one of the best cigars that I had that year, and it was outstanding. It was a huge vitola, and it smoked really well. So when he came out with the rest of the Blackbird line, I kept trying those cigars, the Crow and all this other kind of stuff, and I didn't like any of them. And he never lived up to that Black Ball or 8 Ball, whatever that cigar was. He never lived up to that. And for me, it was just kind of a disappointment, and I haven't been able to get with his cigars ever since. I don't say anything bad about him. I just say I don't like him because I love what he's doing with the marketing, and he got people that love those cigars. But it feels like to me it's kind of the same thing. He's working with some tabacalera, and he's getting their seconds, and then he puts his cool label on it, and that's his cigar. But I may be completely wrong about that. He said the Espinosa Creme is a legend. I love that cigar. I love the Habano. And what was the blue one that he did? Was it like the Azure or Azule or something like that? That was outstanding. I rock with Eric Espinosa. The Laranja was really good. He has that whole line that he's doing like that. Is all of those are really good. Have I tried the Hoya de Nicaragua Cabineta Siri? No, I have not. If I get a chance to, I will try it because Hoya de Nicaragua really hasn't let me down. That Antonio series is money. All of those Cinco anniversary cigars that they do, all of them are outstanding. JDN is one of those brands that if it's out there, I'll try it. They have made enough of an impression on me with their consistency and their flavor profiles that I'll try just about anything that comes out of there. I really got love for JDN. Got a lot of love for them. And I know they're under Drew Estates, but they still are their own thing. Joya de Nicaragua is still their own thing. They still have their own Tabacalera and all that. So I don't get caught up in the fact that they're under one of those huge umbrellas. I know they're doing their own thing, and I know they focus on their own cigars, and they have not let me down. Yeah, that Excalibur was good. I haven't had that one in a while. Or is it no? The Excalibur is Joya de Monterrey. That's Joya de Monterrey. Joya de Monterrey. Joya de Nicaragua is like the Antonio and um, the Cuatro Cinco Decades, the Uno, like all of those are really good. That Antonio Reserva, magic. Somebody else just mentioned that Grand Reserva. Yeah, that was Kendall. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like they don't really miss. And Drew Estates, like Drew Estates throws a lot at the wall. But when they get like their Liga line, of course that was Saka and Nick Manillo initially, but that Liga provider line is magic. And you can get something like the Nika Rustica that's gonna be really good. There's some stuff within that line that like is gonna be fantastic. I do like Drew Estates. I do like Drew Estates. I got nothing bad really to say about them at all. They got so many portfolios though, it's kind of hard to choose. I did have that Excalibur though. I know what you're talking about with that. That's Joya de Monterrey. But it's still a good cigar. Like you said, it's really nutty. It's a good cigar. It's not something I go to on a regular basis, but I'll smoke it again. I ain't gonna make fun of you, man. I ain't gonna make fun of you. I'm not smoking Asylum. I'm not smoking Diesel. And if I'm correct, Asylum is also under the Aroa family, if I remember correct. And I love Aroa. I love Aroa. But I don't really mess with Asylum like that. Need to try the 867. 867. What is that one? Not really sure. What's my take on La Gloria? I'm cool with them. They don't really like blow my socks off. But I mean, there's some that I smoke. I don't have any off the top of my head that are like, oh my God. Nah, I don't like Diesel either, man. So like I don't rock with Diesel, man. I can't do that. Mm. Just generic. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna bag on them right now. Drew Estates can't be overpriced, but they can have some that are really good price too. The Ligas are gonna be really expensive. You're gonna pay for those. You're definitely gonna pay for that. But like La Gloria, like I'm not mad at it. They had EP Carrillo in there for a minute, and they still got some consistent blends. As a random brand, because of my dyslexia, I mix them up all the time. But I would go with La Galera before I go with La Gloria. And same thing with La Aurora. I like La Aurora too. And I hate that so many of these brands kind of sound alike. It's kind of easy to get them mixed up, especially where they can be kind of generic at times. But I don't have anything negative to say about them at all. It's definitely a classic, man. I don't knock it for that. But it's also classic in the sense that to me they kind of come off as kind of like I want to say they're kind of like a classic. They're kind of a classic blend. The wife is calling. I'm gonna end this here, man. Thank y'all for hitting that like button. We've been rolling for 2 hours. I'm gonna roll off and catch up with the wife. Y'all stay cool. Sorry to end abruptly.